Hi everyone, so today I want to talk to you a little bit about your moon sign and what that means in astrology. So in astrology most people know what their sun sign is, and if they haven't got their birth chart read, so for example, if you're born like on the 5th of August, for example, you'll be a Leo. However, when you look at the birth chart, you'll see something different. We're talking about the sun there. The birth chart or whatever, if you look in an ephemeris, you'll see the position of the moon, particularly if you know your time of birth. Sometimes you can get it without the time of birth, but it's recommended to have the time of birth. So you'll see the position of the moon. And what do we mean by that? So your moon sign, so in astrology there's like 3 basic layers. There's a million ways you could look at it in astrology, but most common way is to look at it in 3 different layers. So you've got the outer layer, which is the ascendant, the inner layer, which is the sun. Let's like the example I just gave. You're born on the 5th of August, you'd be a Leo sun, and ascendant would be out here. Let's say it's a Libra, and then the moon sign is right in the middle. Okay, and this is why it relates to your emotions and the heart of a person. Okay, so the moon sign, we get a different interpretation in the chart. So I'll try and explain that to you, what it means. So the sun sign is your identity. Like I said, if you're a Leo, for example, you'd say, oh yeah, that's my identity. But you might have a different character. Let's say if your moon was in Gemini. So if you plot on the ephemeris or whatever, or you look at the birth chart, you'll see the sign of Gemini, right? What does it mean? So like I just explained, you've got the outer layer and the inner layer. The inner layer, the moon sign. Well, the sun is your identity, is how your goals are, your identity, and like where you're moving in life. So you'll see the personality, for example, if you're a Leo, you'll see you're outgoing, generally outgoing, and you know, they're fire signs and whatnot. And I talked about that in another video, which is called Zodiac Explained. You could look at the different signs there. So the moon sign is quite different, because the sun sign will see how you act, but the moon sign is how you react in a situation. So if your moon sign was Leo, you'd roar like a lion, you know, when you react, for example, or you might be dramatic, or you definitely would be a kind of a fun personality. You'd have this inner glow on you. So the moon sign, you could apply it to so many different things in relationships, actually, because most people, when they look at compatibility, which is called synastry, 2 people coming together, they look at the sun sign, and it does mean something, because your goals are going to be very similar, and it is important. So let's say you've got Pisces and Cancer. They're both water signs, and they're both similar, so they're going in similar goals and directions in life, and there's harmony between them. But let's say, but when we look for love, you're going to see the real dynamics there in the moon sign, because the moon sign gives your emotions, right? And it's that little feeling you get when you're with someone. So the moon sign giving harmony to each other. So let's say a Gemini moon and an Aquarius moon, they're both air signs, they'd be in harmony together. And astrology goes on forever, so you could talk about this forever. So the 2 signs would be compatible because they're air signs. The next after the air signs, you could say, I'm keeping this simple, would be the fire signs. So let's say it's a Gemini moon and a Leo moon. They would go really well together. And you can also go deep into it and see the positions of the moon. And generally, ideally, you'll never get a perfect chart. So if you wait to get a perfect chart, if you want to be compatible with someone, you're going to be waiting forever, because the probability of that, because there's so many different aspects to it. But this is a general, I don't know, this is a general overview of how it works, okay? So the moon sign, let's take into account the positioning of the moon sign. So when you meet someone, let's say the male's moon sign should be in front of this 12 signs, right? So within that 6 signs before the female's moon, okay? Otherwise, if it's the other way around, there tends to be like this nagging energy, you know, if it's the other way around. The female's moon sign is behind the male because the moon will always be pushing on. And it takes a long time for the moon to go around the 12 signs, so they won't feel understood by their partner. So that's generally how the moon sign positions work. So you have the same element. It's normally a very good sign. So the elements are, if you're water signs, that would be Pisces, Cancer, Scorpio. The fire signs would be Leo, Sagittarius and Aries. Air signs would be Aquarius, Gemini and Libra. And the earth signs would be Taurus, Virgo and Capricorn. Okay, so they generally go together. So we want to go deeper into the moon sign. So let's take where the moon is best positioned in your chart. So for simplicity again, and it's really about health really. I mean, that's why I took an interest in astrology originally, because I knew someone who wasn't very well, and I was curious, and I thought, oh, astrology, once you get into it, it kind of sucks you in. And so if you look at the moon sign, it can mean many things, like I said. So it's how you react. So in someone else's chart, okay, so the moon sign as well, if you look at ancient medical astrology texts, they're related to the fluids in the body as well. Okay, so in astrology, your sun sign is your father, okay, and the moon sign is the mother. So it's how you perceive your mother, and like I said, it's how you react to a situation. So if you got a Leo moon, you need to express yourself because the moon is your needs. But every sign has a flip side as well, because they can be overly dramatic as well, for example. Okay, so that's it. That's a brief introduction to moon sign. I'll probably do some more on this, on the other different signs, and thanks for watching.